The topic for discussion is intelligence, meaning, types, and importance in agricultural extension. To talk about the introduction, intelligence is a very important condition and indicator of a learning process. Often it is considered to be a controversial concept and prone to misunderstanding. Intelligence is a key indicator that helps us to examine how individuals adapt to certain situations. It provides the ground on how people accustom themselves to their lived world. It may range from organization of activities to learn to grasp broad and subtle facts, including abstraction, scientific, and descriptive, etc. Intelligence is the sum of the whole behavior of a personality, yet potentially differing from each other. Intelligence is the product and result of several key factors which include the hereditary and social environment as the ambience and room for learning vary widely. Let us talk about the meaning. Intelligence is the ability of an individual to cope up with his environment. Intelligence is therefore the state of an individual's absorbability and grappling of ideas, concepts, and knowledge. The range of learning and adaptability may often be modified through maturation processes. According to Sternberg, I quote, "Intelligence is the ability to adapt, to shape and select environment to accomplish one's goals and those of one's society and culture," unquote. According to Gardner, I quote, "Intelligence is the capacity to do something useful in the society in which we live. Intelligence is the ability to respond successfully to new situations and the capacity to learn from one's past experiences," unquote. Let us try to understand factors shaping and affecting intelligence. Hereditary and environment. It can be argued that intelligence is a product of the interplay between factors like environment and hereditary. Hereditary sets a range according to which an individual's development is actually shaped by the support and opportunities in a given environment. For instance, if a person has tall parents, it is very likely that individuals will also grow tall. Through a maturation process, the height of a person can be determined by nutrition and disease. When hereditary largely determines the physicality of a person or an organism, environment provides for the maturation and training. Age is another factor. It is quite natural and universal to experience higher range of intelligence and vice versa according to one's age and stage of life. The personality of childhood and younger times is very likely to manifest in one's older age as well. The height of personality is scientifically considered to be full-blown at the age of 20 in terms of intelligence quotient, also known as IQ. However, there is a possible decline of IQ after the age of 50. So, major aspects of human ability decline after the age of 40, particularly the physical efficiency. Health is another important issue. Decline in physical and mental health is also directly related to one's state of mental activity. Irrespective of age, one's state of health may also determine the level of IQ and energy level of a person. Culture. It is interesting to talk about culture. Human habits and practices also determine the nature and scope of intelligence. Sternberg rightly observes that intelligence is a product of culture. For example, in tribal or indigenous societies, know-how of traditional medicines and actual practice is far better, whereas in the case of a highly modernized societies, persons are well versed in skills of observation and use of technological gadgets and science. Social and economic conditions. It is often regarded that first place for human learning begins at home, since practices and vocabularies used at homes largely influence human behavior and personality. Behavior and personality also go hand in hand with the scope of human intelligence. In addition, the scope for the growth of human intelligence may be hampered and conditioned by one's material status in terms of affording and acquiring. For example, despite almost equal human capabilities, material status may minimize one's scope to compete and fullest development due to deprivation of opportunities. Another suitable example is that there are several societies which are largely dominated and controlled by male, where education and freedom of children and women are restricted. In such social systems, women remain as a lesser intelligent section. Let us examine theories of intelligence. The theories of intelligence propagated by psychologists from time to time have tried to uncover the components or elements of intelligence. Theories on intelligence can be grouped into two categories, which include the following: A. Factor theories, and B. Cognitive theories. Factor theories. The main propagator of this theory was E.L. Thorndike. This theory considers intelligence to be a combination of numerous separate elements or factors, each one being a minute element of one's ability. The theory claims that there is no such thing as general theory, and there are only many highly independent specific abilities. Monarchic and anarchic theories, which comes under factor theory, also advocates for uncertainty and inconsistent characteristics of intelligence factor. In short, factor theories of intelligence employ factor analysis, techniques for identification of factors or common abilities which constitute one's intelligence. However, one of the primary claims of factor theory is that there are wide variations in intelligence level depending upon number of factors. We will now talk about cognitive theory. Cognitive theory of intelligence analyzes and understands in terms of certain fundamental cognitive processes. Cattell and Horn in the 1960s and 70s proposed theory of intelligence propounded two types of intelligence, that is, fluid intelligence and crystallized intelligence. Fluid intelligence is considered to be the mental capacity of an individual which is required for learning and problem solving. Such type of intelligence is determined by neurological development and largely free from the influences of education and culture. On the other hand, crystallized intelligence is not a function of one's neurological development and therefore is not innate or unlearned like fluid intelligence. It is specially acquired and informed by processes of education and culture. On the other hand, crystallized intelligence is not a function of one's neurological development and therefore is not innate or unlearned like fluid intelligence. It is specially acquired and informed by processes of education and culture. We can therefore argue that crystallized intelligence is mainly acquired in the form of general information consisting of knowledge and skills essential for human development. Let us examine key variants of intelligence and types. Generally, psychologists distinguish three kinds of intelligence. 1. Social intelligence. The ability to understand and grapple with issues concerning human relationship is largely defined as social intelligence. Number 2. Mechanical intelligence. The ability to grapple with things, objects, etc., particularly concerning the skills of individuals. Farmers, industrialists, and building traders come under this category of intelligence. And third, abstract intelligence. The capacity to understand and deal with philosophical and mathematical symbols can be considered as constitutive of abstract intelligence. To talk about types of intelligence, according to Gardner, there are 8 main types of intelligence, some of which include the following. Linguistic. Our ability and skills to use of language and capacity to employ language fluently and flexibly to share what we think and understand others. Logical. It is about mathematical skills in scientific thinking and problem solving in the form of the ability to think logically and critically. Spatial. Skills in forming visual images and patterns. It refers to the abilities involved in forming, using, and transforming mental images. To talk about musical, sensitivity to music with the capacity to produce, create, and manipulate musical patterns. Interpersonal, the skill of understanding the motives, feelings, and behaviors of other people so as to bond into a comfortable relationship with others come under this category. Assessment of intelligence. Let us assess the nature of intelligence. Intelligence tests may be classified broadly as follows. 1. Individual test, and second is about group test. Methodologically speaking, intelligence tests may also be classified on the basis of their form as verbal or language test and non-verbal or non-language test. In verbal tests, individuals are required to give the meanings of words or phrases. Non-verbal tests involve activities in which the use of language is not necessary except for giving directions. Let us examine intelligence and agricultural extension relationship. Intelligence as a concept and state of an organism's mental ability play a fundamental role in determining the scope and nature of learning and educating. The scope of intelligence is so wide in every sphere of human lives since it is about grappling with issues of understanding things. From a toddler to parents and scientists to farmers, all are subject to process of learning and education as it directly determine one's status of intelligence. The concept of intelligence can be used in various fields including agricultural extension. Everyone, irrespective of their profession and gender, carry out their activities through employing certain amount of intelligence. Intelligence in the field of agrarian activities play a significant role in a country like India, where a majority of its population is in rural world, with agriculture being their mainstay. Intelligence and mobility of farmers in India. Efficiency in terms of farming and market information can be shown to have positive benefit for farmers. Information on prices and other market realities enables farmers to enter into effective trading of their products. In India, the inability to access marketing has denied most of the farmers the opportunity to effectively plan and market their produce at a reasonable and profitable price. In order to fulfill the gap, a project to generate and disseminate relevant market intelligence to farmers and entrepreneurs have been implemented by Junagadh Agriculture University under ICARS's National Agriculture Innovation Project, also called as NAIP. Similarly, Tamil Nadu Agricultural University is the lead center of the project with 10 consortium partners. Some of the important objectives of the program can be listed as below. Number 1. Providing price forecasts before sowing and during harvesting. 2. Avail product intelligence. 3. Information on pricing. Number 4. Dissemination of market intelligence. The project was started from August 2009 with reported completion of baseline survey of 100 farmers. The data on area, production, productivity, prices, and arrivals in selected markets, import, export, etc. for groundnut, gram, and mustard have been collected and compiled. 3 forecasts for groundnut, mustard, and gram prices at harvest are delivered on 5th November 2009, 24th January 2010, and 22nd March 2010 respectively. Therefore, raising the level of intelligence of agrarian community is an added requirement to the already existing rich farming knowledge practices. This is done in order to acquaint them, that is the farmers, with the following advantages. 1. Modern irrigation systems. Number 2. Use of new tools and technologies. 3. Hybrid seeds. 4. Multiple cropping. 5th. Use of biofertilizers. 6. Environment-friendly farming systems. 7. Soil conservation. 8. Saving systems. 9. Production-related funding facilities. 10th. Understanding market and agrarian trade and businesses. 11. Insurance policies, etc. In conclusion, in a vast country like India, where rural poverty is rampant with low literacy level, realization of an elevated intelligence practices, particularly in the field of farming, has been rather challenging. If we go by the definition of Sternberg, intelligence comprises 3 separate and interrelated abilities, which include analysis, creativity, and practice. From this perspective, everyone, including the farming community, needs to go through an analytical and creative molding of their personalities and praxis.